morning.
Malik, how is everything?
Why are you asking me how's everything?
No,
Good morning. Good morning, Daniel.
How was last night?
Let's start with the Today newspaper.
Malik.
The front page of the Today
Other
newspaper.
things. So if you can't answer the question, it's our football. Answer the question and let's move on. If you can't answer the question,
So Malik, I want to use you as a point.
Can we start?
I want to use you as a point of contact to minister to every Barcelona fan.
amen.
Contractors chase government for their arrears. The second story on the front page of the Today newspaper. This is a story we did yesterday. Abrogate desalination contract. Cash and carry back at psychiatric hospital.
You know,
Are you done?
You know what we'll still talk about.
Please proceed with your commentary on that one before I come in.
Okay, Raymond, let's spare Malik a few more minutes.
Yes.
Let's do the front pages.
If you say so. Now, on the front page of the New Crusading Guard, secessionists call police bluff, vow to declare independence on Thursday despite arrest, and chiefs should help Nanado to succeed. This is according to Tema Manche.
The Chronicle newspaper. Diamond politics rocks Akwetia. Youth engage in accusations and counter accusations over comatose Ghana Consolidated Diamond concession there. Don't claim what you've not done. Ekufuado Japs Mahama. Those are the stories on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper.
Now, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority has been deepening strategies to meet 5.3 billion export targets. Deepening strategy to meet export targets, and that's on the front page with job fair to create 1,500 employment opportunities. There's one about 5 firms shortlisted to compete for the Ghana Burkina Faso Rail project, and more on the front page of the Go Street Business. There's a new MD for Republic Bank. His picture is on the front page here, Farid Anta, and that's also there with the new Companies Act ready for utilization by you and I.
The Daily Statesman newspaper. Documents still safe after secondary school lands Inferno. $40 million a month for 21 years. Alex Mo's actions commit Ghana to paying for ENI killer deal. That's on the front page of the Daily Statesman. Last story here. NDC must pay for Commander Chaos. Results of forensic audit on sugar factory out soon. Alan Hines.
Now, the Daily Guide is reporting that there's a Ghana card registration officer who has been busted for registering foreigners. And that's on the front page with police beating police in a story that will get you interested. You know, we're talking about 1D, 1F, right?
Yes.
Now, in Sawam prisons, guest factory. So,
Really?
one prison, one factory. Yeah, that's
a
also
new
starting
one.
pretty soon.
Okay.
And that's on the front page of the Daily Guide with Stop Misleading Ghanaians. The president is telling former President John Dramani Mahama.
The Daily Graphic newspaper, which is my last paper, has the NIA story here. The officer who has been arrested. Government to support large-scale production of Kantanka vehicles. That's according to Minister of Trade Alan Chirmatin. 16 beat headmaster to death. 16 beat headmaster to death. 4 in custody, 2 on the run. Another story on the front page of the Daily Statesman is Daily Graphic newspaper. Suspected concessionists charged they conspire to commit treason felony. Raymond did this yesterday. Back page of the Graphic. KNUST embarks on expansion project. Health professionals trained on use of AED machines.
Because you mentioned KNUST, you know, we have to do the disclaimer, right?
That
the sculpture disclaimer, but that's not on the front page of the Finder. The Finder is reporting this morning that government is holding some 912 million Ghana cedi plastic fund, and physician assistants are angry at plans to take away their autonomy, and that's on the front page of the Finder. Maybe the last one you should see here is the Ghanaian Times. I will deliver on promises. That the president speaking there, and listen to Martin Amadou's office speaking. We will publish corruption cases.
When?
Soon.
They didn't tell us when.
Soon.
Soon,
I'll give you the details too, but let's go on to the other one.
He's just adding to what the president said, fulfilling the promises.
Yes, okay.
It's okay, Malik. Now you can laugh, Malik Dabo. Let's start
with Barcelona.
On a rather tragic note. Yeah, there was tragedy last night, but there's tragedy elsewhere as well.
Oh.
So 4 students of the Salvation Army Basic School at Isiakwa have been remanded. They've been remanded in police custody by the Kibi District Magistrate Court. And of course, they are to reappear on May 14th. Why are these 4 remanded? The 4 of them have been remanded because they allegedly assaulted the headmaster of this school, George Sumwa Bimpong. Bosumpim, George Somobisompim.
Okay.
This is a 55-year-old head teacher. He's been in the school for just 2 years, and these young men, 6 of them, students of the school, he warned them to stay off his backyard because, according to the story, these 6 young men come to his backyard and engage in antisocial behaviors. They steal from his farm, the farm produce there, and other unwanted behaviors. So he warned them to stay off. He also warned them that if they didn't stay off, he was going to call the police. Now, angered by his warnings, they accosted him in the town, and then they subjected him to beatings that ended up sending him to the Kibi Hospital, where he was later transferred to St. Joseph Hospital at Koforidia, where he died on May 3. Yes.
Oh, he died?
Yes. He died on May 3, 55-year-old headmaster. Now, 4 of the suspects were arrested. 2 of them are on the run. Those who have been arrested are Richard Anani, 18, Emmanuel Mereku, 18, Philip Okodie, 18, and Paul Buedu, 19. These 4 are in police custody and are helping with the police in investigations into this. They have been charged with conspiracy to commit murder and murder by the magistrate court there. Sad story.
Very sad story.
Sad
Our condolences
story.
to the family of the headmaster, and may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah. So, and he's left with a wife and 3 kids.
Oh.
The first boy is writing his wasi, and then the rest of them are.
His first son is now writing wasi.
Yeah.
That means that all his children, the
Yeah.
3 children,
Will
are
require
quite
some-
young. Will
yeah.
require some support.
Yeah.
Anyway, Raymond, let's stay in court, but this time with the secessionists.
Yes, I mean, we are told that they're supposed to be in court today. They have been charged again, and I'm saying again, I'll explain that later on. The 8 of them have been charged with conspiracy to commit treason, unlawful training and assembly, and offensive conduct conducive to breach of peace. These are the charges that have been leveled against them. Indeed, these are 2 more charges leveled against them compared to what was actually what they were charged with 2 years ago. You know that in the March of 2017, they were arrested, this same set of people, they were arrested and charged with treason, felony, and treason. Along the line, we took them to court and we said, oh, well, the man is too old to let him go.
Anyone was successfully prosecuted for treason.
I can't recall any, but again, once again, we actually charged them with the same sort of things. And the basis here is that these people have been complaining that the Western Togoland, which runs from some parts of the current Savannah and current, what they call it, Upper East regions.
So, Upper East region,
and
it comes
parts
down
of
to the
Savannah,
OT region,
which range down to OT region, and parts
to
of the Volta region,
itself, yeah.
were all not supposed to be part of Ghana. They believe the plebiscite in that part of the area was not properly done, which ought to be rectified, or they have to establish their state. Indeed, the expectation was that tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow is when they were going to declare the independence of that particular Western Togoland. And this is why the police got them arrested when they had just finished a meeting on the modalities for their independence declaration. Their meeting was, among other things, to establish their own militia, which will be the police and the military force they will have. According to the police, there are documents that suggested that, all right, the people are training in those capacities. That's why there is a part of the, charge, which instigates that unlawful training and assembly is part of the reasons why they have been arrested and they are being charged in this particular case. So today we put them before court again. We will see how the court will deal with this particular matter in the Volta region. Now, the other complaints that have come from they as a group is that even when they joined Ghana as a country, they've not seen the kind of development they expected from the areas that are supposed to be in the Western Togoland, justifying why they need to be on their own as an independent state. They believe that almost 2 million people fall within that particular zone, and that their independent state would be viable and thrive on its own. Of course, you can't seek to be on their own within the same state. That's why they
want to dislodge South Sudan as Africa's newest country, our youngest country.
But I believe that, let's hope that does not happen. We love our unity as a country.
And their ages are between 85 and 54.
Are they working alone? That's the question, because the police must continue investigations with this, isn't it?
Just that whenever we've tried investigations, we found them to be like some.
But if they pose no threats, they pose no threats. But if we've seen them,
we found them to be old people without vision.
who said old people without?
People they so mischievous.
Yeah. Okay, Malik, you two are doing something.
Let's do this, yeah.
Commander Sugar Factory.
Yes, right? yes. So Trade Minister Alan Chimati yesterday was at a press conference. His turn at the Meet the Press, and he said that NDC will pay for the Commander chaos. Why is he saying this? He said everybody who has valued the $35 million Commander Sugar Factory, which was commissioned in 2016, comes to one conclusion, that the project was overpriced. He says PwC did some work. They valued the company, and they put a value of $12 million on it. Mm-hmm. A factory which was constructed at $35 million with a facility from the Indian Exim Bank. Now that factory has been valued at $12 million. What the government has done, what his ministry has done, is for a forensic audit, an investigation into the factory. He says he's waiting for that forensic audit, the results to come out. When the results comes out, those who played roles in inflating the cost of the factory will be held accountable. This is what he said. But Daniel, this factory has been mired in controversy right from inception. When it was commissioned, we were told that it wasn't working. When we were told it wasn't working, then we were told it was working. In fact, it was the Central Regional Minister, Kweku Rikitsegan, who told us that the factory had been closed down for maintenance. Mm-hmm. And then subsequently he explained that, it was
immediately after it was commissioned, that is.
Yes. And he said it was out of season for sugarcane. Then some journalists went there, our own Ricky Kojenyaku went there and said the factory was indeed not working. Then some journalists went there and said, they have seen plantations of sugarcane and that they were producing for the factory.
And were showing sugar to the rest of the republic in some can. You saw that, right?
In containers. We thought the factory was working. How many years down the line? 3 years down the line. The factory is not working. We are being told that it was the cost of construction was inflated. You remember at the time, even when it was commissioned, we were told that there was some $25 million that we were supposed to take to then give out growers so that they will produce the sugar cane to feed the factory. That hasn't happened, and the factory has been lying idle. Once again, one other project which has been mired in controversy. It would appear that every single project in this town is always mired in some controversy, usually relating to inflation of cost.
Let's hope that the factories in the 1D1F program, Raymond, are not mired in controversy.
Yes, this is because the Chinese are pumping in some $400 million to make sure that those who are already established will be able to operate, and those who are not yet established will get a chance to be operating. The same minister who is in charge of trade and industry, Alan John Chermantin, is the one that made the revelation at a Meet the Press yesterday. Let me give you a few other things. Now, the Chinese have identified some banks, the Ghana Commercial Bank, the Ghana Exim Bank, EcoBank, and Stanbic Bank. These are the banks that will be running this 400 million money coming in. Now, this money is supposed to help, the people project their companies and the new ones also operate the way they're supposed to operate. There are specific details you should know about this. He clarified an issue that has been very thorny for some time. He said there are misconceptions that government was setting up one factory per district, and that it is not government that is doing it. Government is just creating the enabling environment for that to happen. Then people will question, then why then do you make it a promise when the largest chunk of what's supposed to happen falls outside your control?
Exactly.
In this particular case, yes. But what he's saying is that so far, we cannot give up. We have in existing 181 factories established.
181 factories established.
Out of these 181 factories, we know that it is only 52 of them which were already in existence. So the claim The government goes to see if you make a mistake and call a government minister to come and attend your official commission of your factory. The people will claim it and put a banner on it and say this is 1D1F. He says it's not true. That's only 52. That's like 29%. Almost 30% are the ones which are already in existence.
Do you know what will settle all of this?
Yes.
I call for the mother of all fact checks. The 181 factory fact check. What do you think?
I'll be privileged.
It's a good idea, isn't it?
Yes, I'll be privileged to do
I know very well that the one who approves the budgets for fact checks is listening. So.
Now, the 57 of the companies out of the 181 are currently operating. That's according to the minister.
So wait. 181 factories.
No, they have been established. Only 57. That's 31% are operating today.
So the rest of them.
They are at different stages of beginning or maybe operating.
The word is various. The word is used.
Yes, various stages. Yes.
Do you remember the 200 seconds? Yes. It's okay. I won't say it. Malik, let's move on.
Yeah. So the Kaneshi police have yesterday arrested a data input officer of the National Identification Authority. He's a 26-year-old young man, and he was arrested at Abusu Kai Central Mosque Registration Center of the NIA. What's his crime? He was found by his supervisor engaging in the registration of two Nigerians, Al Hassan Abdul Samad, Abubakar Rauli. These two Nigerians, according to the gentleman himself, gave him 60. In fact, somebody who used to work with the NIA gave him 60 Ghana cedis to help these two Nigerians to obtain the National Identification Authority card by registering them. And the guy himself, when the police arrested him, according to Ifya Tenge, who speaks for the Greater Accra Police, said that he admitted that he was given this money and then he was told to help the two Nigerians to register. And when his supervisor confronted him, the two Nigerians who were being registered ran. And the guy was arrested and he's in the hands of the police. Now, you are entitled to register even when you are a non-citizen. Yeah. The only thing is that you are not supposed to make representation that you are a Ghanaian. But these guys wanted to obtain the card as Ghanaians. So they made misrepresentations.
And they paid 60 cedis.
Yes, and they paid 60
And if they did
at least the official was paid 60 cedis. Yes. According to him.
Yes.
They could have paid more to whoever.
That's what the police said.
And we should take this serious because this is our fine opportunity to make sure that we have a national database.
And a credible one.
A credible one. Yeah. So if you are undermining the process with people who are involved in this, a very serious one.
Already we had problems with our birth and death registry. You know, the Select Committee called us to Parliament the other day to give them the data that we have, what Kwete Nate gathered in his documentary, and some reforms were promised.
Hopefully they'll do them.
Well, we have our
and we also expect the people who are part of this to be dealt with by law. Anyway, let me bring you what is happening in the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and may I crave your indulgence to say a very good morning to the board chair of the Office of the Special Prosecutor,
Madam Linda Oforikwa.
Yes, she's the one who's speaking to the Ghanaian Times. What she's been telling the Ghanaian Times is pretty simple, that very soon that office will publish, to the glory of God, every single case it is working on.
Did she say when?
Oh, no, not yet.
So how soon is soon?
Soon is soon. Now, let me give you some more detail. She's saying that this, according to Section 3.3 of the Office of Special Prosecutor Act 2017, the Act is 959. It mandates the office to regularly and on a quarterly basis publish in at least 2 daily newspapers with nationwide circulation and on the website of the office what it was doing. Now, let me read to you exactly what is supposed to be published. Now, the list of corruption cases investigated. 1. 2. And prosecuted by the office. That one we know, right? We know there's that the prosecutor part we know is none. So at least what we can be saying is investigated.
Yes.
And the number of convictions secured in respect of the cases prosecuted. That one we know is 0. So it's a very small.
Being prosecuted, you can't convict.
Yeah, that's why we know 2 parts is 0. The other part we know may get some numbers is what we wanted to tell us.
I am thinking, if you are investigating a case, should you be coming out to say that you're investigating a case, considering the fact that some persons involved may want to hide the information?
Act says investigated, which means
by
that and prosecuted. By the time the publication, you are either in court or you are done with all of that. I hope you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So it's not at this stage that the list might be useful anyway.
Maybe they finish investigating, they're used to go to court. So let's wait and see which list the office brings, and then we'll interrogate it further. The online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest in Goil Good Energy. Make your day productive by relying on quality fuel from Goil, your 3-time CIMG Petroleum Company of the Year. Goil Super XP and Diesel XP are additivated to enhance strong engine performance and prolong the lifespan of your vehicle. Above all, you are guaranteed extra quality with our fuel analyzer from our mobile laboratory van. Get your money's worth every day by buying fuel and lubricants from any of Goil's over 360 service stations nationwide and experience good energy. Buy Goil, grow Ghana. Goil, good energy. Goil, Yenara, Yedia. Now go light with Zenith Bank and have dinner on us as the plush African Regent Hotel. Now, isn't that exciting? To enjoy this offer, simply use any MasterCard to make a minimum purchase of 500 Ghana cedis on a Zenith Bank POS at the Africa Regent Hotel and be rewarded with a free dinner or a discount of 100 Ghana cedis on other meal options. Visit the African Regent Hotel today. Use any MasterCard on a Zenith Bank POS and have dinner on us. Go light with Zenith Bank, pay light. Zenith Bank, in your best interests. The people who drown human beings to catch a fish. As a chilling feature there by Edwin Appiah. It actually covers the story that we will be dealing with on the Super Morning Show. Hundreds of children are being trafficked to fish on the Volta Lake, and the experience they go through is terrible. We are asking ourselves, when will it end? That's on the Super Morning Show today. Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana backs malaria vaccine pilot, urges public support for process. Malik, I apologize for what I'm about to say next. From the bottom of my heart to you.
Yeah,
I apologize.
identify myself with the apology. If I don't know what you're going to say.
Liverpool produced epic comeback against Barcelona to reach final. So Malik, I use you as a point of contact for every Barca fan out there.
Contractors chasing government for their money.
No, please. We want to
Since
talk
you are
about
not
Liverpool.
You have a lot of things to talk about.
We will not erect. We did not erect ugly Otunfo statue in quotes. KNUST reacts. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
But the clarification is that it is 2 lecturers that took private contracts.
So it was not an
was Galamsey.
official.
Oh, it was actually a contract.
Yes.
So they were
Galamsey.
paid.
Yes.
It's okay. 6-year-old kidnapped in Kintampo. Iran nuclear deal. Tehran may increase uranium enrichment. And quarantine lifted after a couple die of bubonic plague. That's in Mongolia. All right, we're going to take these important messages. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Good energy powers the thing.